Hey guys, what's going on? This is the Marvelite podcast, and we're here for another episode. Today, joined with me are the usual suspects, Marvel Luke.
I actually prefer to be called Darth Vapor from now on.
Jesus Christ. We also have the homeboy Nick.
Hey guys, Marvelite.
Marvel Yeet. And of course we have Will.
Wush poppin' party people.
Wush poppin', of course. So before we get into today's episode of the Marvelite, how are we doing, Nick? How's your day?
It's good. Yeah.
Did you get anything new?
Yeah, I just got this
gift?
iPhone 7 Plus. It's cool.
Hey, nice. And Marvel Luke, how are you doing today? Or Darth Vapor Darth.
Vaporeon.
Yes, Vaporeon. I guess I would be okay with people calling me that. I am okay. I am ready to scream about Fox.
Oh boy.
This isn't the Marvel if we don't do that. And Will, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. I need to eat some post-workout dinner and finish my paper. It's all about hip-hop and porn and Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's just a fun ride all around.
Well, do you know what
That's what you call an essay. Man.
Do you know what I eat after the gym?
What do you eat?
These bitches.
Nah. What? No. I got this. I got this combat protein powder, and I take 50 grams.
30 milligrams?
God damn, man.
No, 50
grams?
50 grams of protein per
Good
bottle
God.
that I drink after my workout. Yeah.
I might have to ask
Wow.
you about that because I've been off protein for a hot minute.
Oh, dude, for you need to get back on it in a hot minute. For real.
You know what we need to get back on too, dude?
Talking about Marvel
Fox talk?
shit.
Marvel Fox talk?
Exactly. So anyway, we're gonna go dive into the Fox talk right away. So earlier this week,
Here we go.
Fox went and dropped their very first trailer for their brand new TV show, Gifted. So this is going to be the X-Men TV show. This is not Legion. This is actually... They actually said this shows a result of the success of Legion. So this is pretty much... This is going to follow a family who's on the run. Their kids they're mutants. And yeah, that's the premise. Have we all seen the trailer?
The premise.
Yeah.
The premise. You mean Hero Season 1, where there's like a blonde cheerleading type of girl who has these fantastic abilities, and her father just happens to be the kind of guy that tracks them down and imprisons them? Yeah. Okay.
Isn't Jamie Chung a young Blink from Days of Future Past, though?
Yeah.
I guess it is. So is this on I guess this show is set in the original timeline that Days of Future Past happens in?
I don't think we're too sure yet.
Did you see the video I posted on Facebook, where I'm like, so this is what happened after X3?
No, this is what happened when in some bizarro universe where a writer strike didn't happen and Heroes was good.
Ooh. Wait, you're the second person I've heard say that today. Who was the first?
Philip DeFranco actually said something similar.
Yeah, that was it.
Damn.
Yeah, because I have to agree with him that the whole premise just looks like Hero Season 1. I'm like, wow, what a way to be like original.
I think you make a good point. When I watched it, like myself, I'm like, yo, dude, this... Like, I'm not gonna lie, I actually liked the trailer. It honestly caught my interest a little bit. And that might be because I was a fan of Hero Season 1. It really reminded me of like a show that you just see on Fox. Like, gave me like a 24 kind of feel, Heroes kind of feel. I'll probably check it out when it comes out, whenever it is. Nick, what did you think about the Gifted trailer?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Just kind of curious, like, apparently the Sentinels are humans, remember? They said, like, the Sentinel Squad.
Yeah.
Isn't it like a business or something?
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Is it being held by Trask Industries?
No, they're just the Sentinel unit.
What?
It's like Sentinel Corps. Sentinel Corps.
Suicides.
Yeah, they're the Sentinels.
What are we? Some kind of Sentinels now?
Wow, that's
really
dumb.
How do you feel about
honestly,
the trailer and Fox going at another TV show?
Yeah, because I never got around to actually watching and finishing Heroes. I'll do it one day. It honestly reminded me a lot of like Runaways, because it's just like, oh, they have powers, oh, they're found out, oh, they're on the run. So I don't know. Honestly, I think there's a couple other X concepts that they could have played with, but I mean, I might give it a watch. I've been spending most of my day watching Gotham, so Fox. Yeah, I know.
So,
I guess Fox
I'm
can't
curious,
let me down.
What I'm curious about though is that at one point in the trailer near the end, he mentions the X-Men and the Brotherhood, but he said something I think along the lines of like we don't even know if they exist anymore. So where in the timeline does this take place?
I think this is the Logan timeline.
Yeah, it might be the Logan verse.
Well, I'm not saying like what timeline. I'm just saying where. Like does it take place? If it does take place in the Logan timeline, does it take place post Manchester incident, or something else? And if it's true that Blink is like the younger version from Days of Future Past, that would imply that it's not that timeline and it's the original timeline. But then again, there's also a theory out there that Logan is actually in that original timeline, the one where Days of Future Past never happened.
You just have to believe hard enough; it'll be in your timeline.
Oh my good lord!
Yeah, I'll just concentrate and believe.
I don't even know, and to be honest with you, I don't care.
I mean, the other Lurk believed, and now we have like Deadpool happening, and all sorts of crossovers. Jamie Chung is the key because she's on both Gotham, and then she's going to be in Gifted. So clearly, she's the link between DC and Marvel as well as Donald. Clearly.
Yeah,
it's the two of them.
Like we're all interested in the show.
Yeah.
So I think we're all gonna be excited to check it out when it comes.
I still need to watch Legion. I've heard nothing but good.
I've
heard nothing but good things.
Wait, when does Gifted come out anyway? Sorry.
They just got to expedite that shit over to Netflix.
I don't know when Gifted comes out. Who knows?
Did they give it a release date?
Yeah, I think they did.
Oh, I guess.
I don't think any of us bothered to actually look it up.
I didn't look.
Well, anyways, yeah, I mean, I guess anyone listening, just let us know what your thoughts are, and if you guys are excited for it, and maybe speculate a little bit and give us some ideas.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
So moving on.
So moving on to our next topic. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s 4th season has just finished last night. They had an epic finale. Did anyone else check it out here?
No, because I'm behind. I haven't watched since the season finale.
Oddly enough, Will is behind. Will is behind on
Yeah.
everything except for freaking Gotham.
Yeah, hey man, there's gonna be Flash and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm gonna catch up slowly over. Actually, all the CW shows go up a week after their season finale, so I might as well just wait until that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might. But just quickly talking about it, I think the 4th season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now that it's completely... Well, I'll do no spoilers, just because there's still some people maybe who haven't seen it. I think it ended off really well. A little abrupt, honestly, of how they tied up some of the bigger subplots throughout the season. However, they really opened up the door for the 5th season, which is confirmed. And I think that it was a solid finale overall. What do you guys think, though, about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. getting a 5th season? As well as, we'll couple this news as well, Inhumans getting the Friday time slot, and then S.H.I.E.L.D. getting the January mid-season time slot when Inhumans is gone.
So I've kind of sat back and analyzed that, actually. Typically when a show is shifted to a Friday night slot, that is definitely a bad sign.
Yeah.
For most shows, and that it means that the ratings aren't healthy. Budgets are going down.
Constantine.
Yeah, no kidding.
Buddy.
No kidding. That honestly was, to me, that was probably the best DC show on TV. In my mind, anyways, it was. And I feel like it deserved much more. But it's not necessarily a good thing. But I don't think that it necessarily means it's going to be a bad thing. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like season 4 was or season 5 was announced, but we don't know if it's going to have a full season pickup. Like a regular 24 episode season order.
I think they confirmed that it's going to have a full 22.
Oh, okay. Well, if it does have the full 22 or 24, that's actually that's a good thing. If they were going to cut it down to like 13 episodes or however many episodes, then I think I would be like, okay, they're closing up shop on this show. But I don't know. Now, I do think that season 5 might be the final season, and I don't think it's I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think that there's only so many stories that they could tell. You know what I mean with with these current characters. So maybe shifting it to Friday isn't such a bad thing. And if it's getting a full season, they can flesh out 2 entire arcs and have a good finale. So that's honestly what I think is going to happen. Now with the Inhumans, who knows? I don't know why Fridays of all nights. Maybe to try to give it that sort of cinematic feel, because that's usually when movies are released, and Inhumans is getting the first 2 episodes released in theaters. So maybe that's why. I don't know. Other than that, yeah, those are my thoughts.
Cool. Will, how about you with all the news?
I mean, I'll catch up to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next, but in regards to the Friday night shift, it has me a little... They have to really be banking on people really wanting to watch Inhumans, I think is the thing. Because isn't the reason that Friday night's a death slot because everybody's usually out? Like, people are out having fun.
Yeah, for the most part.
Because
Apparently
where the
what
weekend
they're coining
starts...
it as is like... Apparently they're coining it as like, oh, we're trying to satisfy our sci-fi audience. We're gonna go once upon a time and back to S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, and I think they're banking on a lot of people really wanting.
They're
to
banking
watch
on
this
that
so
sci-fi
they'll stay
audience.
in. Yeah,
And
like they're hoping that they stay indoors to watch
that, man. I think Tuesday was a good time slot.
Yeah, hell, just basically any weekday. Thursday, I think, would probably be the best for them or something. Because where are they up against? Legends of Tomorrow? Fuck that.
Yeah, Legends
Legends
or
of Tomorrow actually
Wednesday.
isn't even on Thursdays anymore.
Oh wait, they got moved, didn't they? That's right.
Yeah, they should have done a Thursday or even Wednesday.
Yeah, like those would be like the middle of the week. That'd be freaking perfect. But Inhumans, I mean, it's short, so it'll be a couple weeks. So it won't be if they take a hit, it honestly won't be that bad. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. getting extension, and from what I've heard, going sword, I guess, might be a mild spoiler. But
Spoiler.
yeah, that's all I've heard about it. I haven't watched it yet, so I can't like say or confirm or comment on anything. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. getting a full season order, this has to be like the end of it. I honestly can't think of too many other ideas aside from like what I've heard about the past season that they can go, except for basically regular showing it. If you know about the last season of regular show, is apparently what they're supposed to be doing, because you have Infinity War, and I think that's the perfect place to end it. Most TV shows should be capped at like 5 or 6 seasons, otherwise you end up with a fucking Supernatural where you start to run out of ideas, and then like along season 11 you're like, hey wait, we have something interesting. I don't know, I just don't think long form
Supernatural is
television...
still good though.
Okay, if you say so, I'll let you believe that, but just like I'm starting to kind of grow, I guess, a little restless after having watched superhero and non-superhero shows. I think I just starting to realize that most shows, especially based off of comic book medias, can only run for so long, and having 22 or 26 episode seasons makes it really hard, because it just makes it hard to do. I think that's why a lot of the Netflix shows work better, Iron Fist aside. Because iZombie has pretty truncated seasons, around 13 to 20 episodes. I think the only way you can really do long-form shows is if they're like dramas, like Jane the Virgin. Because even Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is only capped at like 18 episodes. Like I think a lot of shows need to like stick in the teens.
I think you're right. 5 seasons is a healthy amount of time, I think, for S.H.I.E.L.D. And I think honestly the 4th season they could have ended it off here the way they did before the last end credit scene, and I think it would honestly ended off the show not that bad. I can see where they're going to go, as Nick mentioned, Infinity War possibly tying that in. It certainly might have lined that up. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Nick, any comments on Inhumans, time slot, S.H.I.E.L.D. or anything? Or?
Yeah, I probably Inhumans would have been better in the middle of the week, I think. It is only 8 episodes, though, so it probably won't be a huge difference, I think. Like, apparently they showed a quick trailer for Inhumans today at the ABC Upfronts, and people were saying it looked good. Like, the costumes look good and stuff compared to that one image that people were like,
that weird Entertainment Weekly photo.
Yeah, apparently we're like, yeah, it looks actually a lot better in motion and stuff, so I'm like, okay.
And that's what I heard from an inside source, actually. He told me that, he said just wait until the actual show comes out. It's not going to look like that, so.
Yeah.
Sweet, I mean, hopefully. I think I'm more or less... Yeah, I see what you mean there, Nick, on the Friday. I think I'm more or less concerned about S.H.I.E.L.D. and them getting that Friday time slot, but yeah, definitely...
S.H.I.E.L.D. get a Saturday
fingers
slot.
crossed that it works out.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, no, please. But moving on from, just Marvel television to Fox movies. Michael Fassbender has just said that he'll be returning for the Dark Phoenix film, but not the New Mutants. Luke, take it away.
Why? That's what I want to know. Oh man. I really like Michael Fassbender. I don't like what Bryan Singer has done with Phoenix or Jean Grey. I don't like any of it, actually. I don't like the way it's being portrayed. It's crap, and I don't know if Bryan Singer's doing the Dark Phoenix film. But if they're going off that continuity, it really doesn't matter who's directing it. I don't want that kind of Phoenix being portrayed. It's just not something I think would do well, honestly. And to be honest with you, you really have to go back and actually read that saga to really understand what's going on, because from what we've witnessed with any Fox X-Men film, they're really only like shells of a story from the comics, and I mean, you can almost argue that with the MCU, but at least the MCU stays true to the characters for the most part, anyways. That I have seen, and I've been pleasantly surprised and pleased with, most of the MCU characters.
More often than not.
But, yeah, more often than not. But it's like every single time, man, they're like beating a dead freaking horse with these X-Men films, and they're just not reinventing anything. And I'm not saying that they have to reinvent every single movie, but oh my god, you get with the times. Like, what the hell was Apocalypse? That movie
Oh god.
That movie belonged in like 2000 or 1999. Like, that with the same style of writing. It was just like, dude, it's post Avengers, post Deadpool, post Guardians, post Ant-Man. Like, if you can do those crazy fantastical stories, you can tell a good X-Men story. Stay true to the characters, because ultimately that's what I'm more concerned about over plot. Stay true to the characters and the continuity of their personalities and their core, and what they stand for. For the love of God, do that. And what I saw with the Phoenix in the original X-Men trilogy and the Phoenix in X-Men Apocalypse was just garbage, and I never ever want to see that again. So doing a Dark Phoenix film just pisses me off. Now with Michael Fassbender coming back, I don't know why, but it's whatever.
Money, yeah, I guess, because that's the whole reason why Apocalypse happened. None of the I mean by the time the second film was made, Days of Future Past, all that main cast was like, we don't want to do this again, and they were like, well, you have to, and we'll pay you more. So they came back for that, and then like you can just tell, like after Apocalypse and all those interviews they did, they were just like so hesitant to answer whether they were going to come back or not. And then they started joking around like, well, if he comes back, I might come back, or some bullshit like that. If you
come back, I'll come back too.
Yeah, just like,
if my friend is there, then I'm going with him.
Jennifer Lawrence's face like just screamed, "I'm here for a paycheck."
God, oh,
I mean,
Jesus. Okay,
did that do it, or was her acting in the last one? That's what
her acting in the last one pissed me off, because I knew she didn't give a single flying fuck. Like, listen, on The Flash, at least I can tell Kenyon Lonsdale can't act. But here's someone who can act, who decides not to act. Like, he can learn. She has an Oscar, goddammit.
Well, even Michael Fassbender seemed like he didn't really want to be there.
Yeah, but at least Michael Fassbender made me feel something.
And honestly, with Assassin's Creed being a massive flop,
the poor little fuck.
That was just an absolute flop. He lost a lot of money on that. I
still don't know what the plot to that
I can
movie
see
was.
why he's going to return. I would have rather have seen him in New Mutants, honestly, because it's honestly looking like New Mutants is going to be just as good as Deadpool or even Logan, from what I'm seeing. Hopefully, it's going to be more of like Matthew Vaughn inspired. That's what I'm hoping for. But I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
With Dark Phoenix can take a walk, dude, for real.
With the Dark Phoenix thing, what have they set up for Dark Phoenix? We barely know these new X-Men characters.
You know what it's going to be?
It's like they could
just going to be that younger.
Went into Phoenix mode at the end of the movie. We're supposed to be like, oh fuck,
oh no,
cool that is. Let's go hop on a whole movie.
Especially because they cut out that mall scene. Moment where we could have actually had some character development for these people that we're supposed to get invested in. That's aside from the Four Horsemen, who we had nothing about, especially fucking Storm. one of the pinnacles of like the X-Men group as a whole, who has gotten consistently nothing, probably since her introduction. Just a consistent amount of nothing. And Blockbuster Buster was just like, I think what's Bryan Singer hates Storm. And the more you think about it, it's like, I think he does, because she gets a lot of nothing to do.
Blockbuster Buster's the worst. Erod?
He made a good point. I'll give him that. He made a good point. It's just like, Storm had nothing to do. The rest of that cast had nothing to do. These new, like, younger X-Men have nothing to do. So you want to do one of, like, the most hailed sagas in the X-Men franchise off of characters that we know nothing about. And you're expecting us to build, like, an emotional connection to them. So when this big bad portrayal, like, or betrayal happens in the film, we're supposed to be like, oh, man, I feel so bad for Jeannie Grey and Cyclops and the whole rest of them. I feel so bad for these people that I barely know about. And how did they... And they killed Apocalypse because... Why? If one laser doesn't work, we'll shoot 3 lasers at it, and it'll make him go explode, and now he's gone forever. That Ivan Ooze gone back to space dust.
Wait.
One
Right
last thing,
direction,
though. God, Sophie Turner has to work on her accent.
Under the right direction, what I would actually like to see Michael Fassbender in is a House of M story arc.
Yeah, by not Bryan Singer.
Yeah.
By not Bryan Singer. I mean, dude, could you imagine like getting someone like Sam Raimi to direct House of M or something like that?
Oh my God, that you know what? Fox would have
because
one
like
over
here's the
Marvel
thing.
on that.
Here's the thing about Sam Raimi is like like you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of that original Spider-Man trilogy, but that was a different time. And the big difference between Sam Raimi and Bryan Singer is Sam Raimi has adapted to the times in Hollywood.
He's also an incredible visual director.
He is.
And practical effects, too. That means he'd get the fucking costumes right.
Like, honestly, and even Matthew Vaughn. I would actually love to see Matthew Vaughn come to the MCU and do something.
If Matthew Vaughn and Sam Raimi teamed up to do a House of M movie...
Yes.
Fuck it, man. They can keep the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom.
Hell, do freaking...
Yeah, that would be so... I don't see him doing that, though, because he's probably going to be tied up with Kingsman and or possibly The Flash, because I know he's going to lead people.
But hey, man, Sam Raimi and Mark Webb both dropped out of The Flash running, so let's get them on a project together. That way you'll have interesting character relationships and good visuals.
Jeez, but we're going to be moving on now to... enough of the Fox talks, because once we go down that whole...
Wait, Nick, did you want to say something about all of this?
Yeah, Magneto, I'm hyped up. I love Michael Fassbender, so I can't wait to see him in more X-Men's.
I think Michael Fassbender's great. He's one of the few really good parts of like the new series. I mean, like Days of Future Past isn't that bad, but Apocalypse was really rough.
Yeah, but so guys, we're gonna move on to the next section of the show where we answer a bunch of your guys' questions.
A bunch
so
being
again,
two.
thanks so much. Hey, I'm just, you know what? Stop. But no, thank you guys for sending us questions with the hashtag #AskMarvelite as always.
No, keep asking us questions, please.
Yes, so thank you, Waru. He asked us 2 questions. So the very first question is hashtag #AskMarvelite. Do you want Alpha in the new Spider-Man cartoon? Will?
Nah.
Oh wow, that was quick. Luke?
No.
Nick, that was...
Luke's got Nick's voice.
Speaking for Luke, no.
Thanks, Waru, actually, for asking that question. But no, actually, I would not want to see that.
Honestly,
you know what I would say? I wouldn't mind seeing like a quick one episode where Spider-Man and Alpha go on a sub-mission or something.
Yeah.
Like they go on a side story mission.
I'm fine with the team up. I'm still trying to figure out what Spider-Gwen is doing there, but I'm more excited that Aranya is actually getting some fucking respect that she deserves. The original Spider-Girl that no one talks about, who's actually really interesting with her Mexican heritage.
You want to know what no one else talks about either? That one time that Gwen Stacy got pregnant by Norman Osborn?
We try not to think about that. It's not that we don't talk about it. We try not to think about it because it was one of those weird times in history. And by weird time in history, I mean the 90s when everything with Spider-Man was just fucked up.
Oh gosh.
The Clone Saga.
Yeah.
Gwen is pregnant. Everything is.
So
weird.
we're gonna move on to the last question right now. From
The only questions.
This is an oddly specific question too for someone who's not
So,
here.
hashtag Ask Marvelite. This is a weird question, but if Laura voiced a Marvel character, then who would it be. For those who don't know, Laura is Will's friend, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you guys like
during
together or something, or?
No, we're just friends.
Who, Laura Harrier?
No, attractive black. No, my friend
I
Laura
think she would
from
be Squirrel
college.
Girl.
She was here for the Guardians 2 review.
Okay.
Yeah, she'd be Squirrel Girl fam.
Which, side note, let's talk about that for a sec after this. I mean, what do you guys think? You were there?
Yes, I was.
You were there?
I was. Frogman.
Yeah, I would say Squirrel Girl. That's my answer.
I mean, she actually has a quite lot of range considering I've actually seen her act and I have directed her before for a little bit. Someone I'm trying to think of someone she could probably voice. She could do a young X-23.
You think so?
Yeah, she has the range and capability to do someone that's like really broken up inside and torn up and traumatic. She's a very talented actress.
I still really think that she could pull off Frogman.
She probably could if she wanted to. Actually, who's that bunny themed villain that Spider-Man has? She'd be like perfect for that.
There's also like there's also
like White Rabbit or something.
That's just a really big obese like fat woman.
What?
Yes.
I think her name's like.
Yeah.
So that wraps
Thank
it up
you
for this
for-
Wait, you don't want to talk
Thank
about?
you guys so much again for
Marvelite.
coming.
So you don't want to talk about
as
our
always.
topic that we pitched before the podcast went on?
Hell no.
You don't want to talk about that?
Hell no.
About Marvel parodies?
Hell no.
That'd be Luke's just.
All right,
hating
fine. Axel Braun. He'd be really good at directing an X-Men film. There.
Well, I didn't say those type. I just said parodies in general. I don't know why you're bringing the pornography of women into it, Luke.
Because that's what we talked about, Will.
They don't need to know what the conversation's about. Could have been about anything.
Anyway, guys,
Could have been about fan
that wraps
fiction
it up
shit.
for this episode.
Yeah, this is
of the
episode
Marvelite podcast.
83 or
Two, I think.
82.
This is 82, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, thanks, guys, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah.
You
Drop
guys want
those.
to check me out on social medias?
Drop those hot
Fellow
comments,
34. Will, where can they find you?
Another time here on YouTube. Well, the greatest on everything else.
Cool. Nick.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at who's_Nick.
And last but not least, Luke.
Again, it's Vapurion or Darth Vapor. And you guys can find me on Twitter at QuantumXParadox.
Sweet. That wraps it up for this.
Yeah, we'll catch
show.
you guys next time.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys in the void.
On the flip flop later.